You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Feeling lucky? All bets are on Bookie, the hilarious comedy from Chuck Lorre and Nick Bakay, starring Sebastian Maniscalco as an old-school bookmaker just trying to stay alive in a world of bad beats. Does a house always win? Find out as Bookie returns for Season 2, December 12th on Max. Please watch responsibly.
Stugotz here. I want to thank the folks over at Smirnoff for being a loyal sponsor to both God Bless Football and the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz. Smirnoff knows there is no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, Smirnoff is the world's #1 vodka and is an official vodka partner of the NFL. And this year, there are more opportunities to watch football and make delicious Smirnoff cocktails than ever before over the holiday season. From Thanksgiving to Black Friday and Christmas, Smirnoff and the NFL are with you every step of the way. So this holiday season, when you are enjoying the game and your cocktails, please make sure to drink responsibly. Take a minute, make a plan, never drive impaired. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly. Smirnoff number 21 vodka, distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please do not share with anyone under legal drinking age.
Hey, it's Austin James. If you're like me, trying to live your best life while living with diabetes, you can relate to worrying if you're doing a good job managing your diabetes. I use the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor to get real-time glucose readings and see the impact of every meal and activity to make better decisions. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor can help me live life with diabetes on my own terms, and it gives me more time for the things I love, like being a dad and a musician. Now this is progress. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Behind those cozy nights at home, thousands of employees at BP go to work every day. People producing more U.S. natural gas. People building grid-scale solar capacity. People turning landfill waste gas into pipeline-quality renewable natural gas. And people delivering all of that power where it's needed. They're part of the more than 300,000 jobs BP supports across the country. Learn more at bp.com/investing in America.
God bless football, Billy Gill.
God bless football, Mikey A.
God bless football, Fuentes. God bless football, Stugotz.
The studio is a little bit more crowded today.
Well, it got a little thinner when you lost $185 yesterday.
It did, yes. I had to stop at the ATM on my way home. And thank you to everyone who joined us yesterday at Vivo in Miami, Dolphin Mall. And thanks to our friends at Smirnoff. We have traveled the United States of America doing football watch parties courtesy of our friends at Smirnoff Vodka.
You mentioned Smirnoff, by
Yes.
the way. God bless football is presented by Smirnoff.
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
Game days. Please drink responsibly. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York.
Mikey, Billy started the morning off air, said to me that the Chiefs, he believes the Chiefs are a team of destiny.
They might be. They might be a team of destiny. And I'll tell you why, Mikey.
Please.
Before you even react, because you seem to not
I've got
like
a comment
the team of destiny
ready in the hip
situation.
pocket.
Right. So the team that's won 2 consecutive Super Bowls, you're going to explain to Mikey how they're a team of destiny.
They've also won 2 consecutive weeks, 1917, which is a
Wow.
weird score. Anyways,
Wow.
the reason I think that the Chiefs might be a team of destiny is because it seems like this is not sustainable. It seems like they cannot keep winning games the way that they're winning games, right? However, every week, they seem to find a new way to just sneak by and win a game. A doink off of an upright to then go through the other upright or through and be a field goal to win the game as time expired. Incredible.
That
Team of
doinks
destiny.
out for every other team is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
It doinks out.
Absolutely. I saw a thing that
Certainly
was
for
saying,
our team.
Well,
you need to be in the position.
We're never
Yeah,
in that
exactly
position.
right.
No, we were in a position once this year. You remember the doink?
I do.
Okay.
Denver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went straight back out.
Well, so the Chiefs had I saw like a fun little graphic on the internet, and it basically reversed everybody's one-score games for the season and what the record would be.
Right.
Chiefs would be 2-11, I think, if you reverse their one-score game record.
Really?
Yeah, they'd be in last place. They'd be the
Wow.
worst team in the NFL.
That's amazing.
Or in the AFC.
Right.
You know what? Blow somebody out, then come talk to me about Team of Destiny.
They haven't done it, but they haven't needed to because they're the team of destiny right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to explain that, or that's just it?
I explained it already.
Okay. I missed the explanation.
Yeah.
So being
I was
down one score,
to be honest with you, I was checking out Sean McDermott because that guy should not be the head coach of the Bills. And I was rechecking to make sure he did something I thought he did when watching the game live yesterday, and he did it. He ran on 1st and goal when you're supposed to throw, and I think Tom Brady called him out for it.
Yeah.
But Sean McDermott is going to be the reason that Josh Allen doesn't win a Super Bowl. I'm serious.
A weird take this year. They're
It's-
having
wow.
such a good year. Yet that would be for you, I think, a good loss for the Bills yesterday.
No, like what? Like a reset loss?
What's that?
It's not a good loss.
It was a good loss. It was a great game for Josh Allen. Are you kidding me? I don't think
No.
that anyone right now is challenging him for the MVP. He had 6 total touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns. No player has ever had that before.
I understand.
You know what that game did for me yesterday? And it's
What?
a rare occurrence. That game yesterday had me say in the 4 o'clock window, I'm not watching the red zone. I'm just watching this one game.
You stuck with one game.
I just stuck with that
It's
one
rare when you
game.
do that. You're
yeah,
right.
and
Yes.
I said, "I'm red zone, not for me right now. I don't need the red zone right now."
What were
I
the
don't
other
need
games?
Chicago and San Francisco, but I mean
Right.
Arizona, Seattle.
Nah, I was fine. I was fine watching the
They
game.
they were running away
Yes.
with it early. it
Also,
seemed like.
I had massive fantasy implications in that game. Fantasy, you ask? Yeah, it's presented also by Smirnoff.
No one asked you.
I did ask with my eyes.
is
Now
presented
he can
by-
see me.
No, you were looking at me. I mean,
It is presented by Smirnoff, the
asking
world's number
Fruity.
1 vodka. Please drink responsibly. In our listener league, guys, I told you guys early on, after the 1 o'clock window, I was like 495th. I said, boy, do I need a 4 o'clock window push. But I had 4 guys in the 4 o'clock window.
Did you get the push?
I got up to 59th place, but just out of the
Wow.
money. Josh Allen was my quarterback. And
Wow.
he got, I think, nearly 50 points yesterday. It was the rare situation where I had like 180 points, which is like good enough to win a lot of weeks. The winner of our league had 256 points yesterday.
Wow.
It was insane. Insane.
How'd you do?
I'm looking at my score now. Awful lot of snowflakes. Awful lot of snowflakes.
Dude,
on
I had
this
5
roster.
flames yesterday, and I still finished 59th. It's a crazy day.
372 was my
Right.
finish.
Yeah.
Those flames can be deceiving.
Yeah.
They really can.
Well, because the flame is just like it's compared to how they normally
Sure.
do. Right?
Garendo on my team.
Yeah, he was on my team.
It was really good. Then all of a sudden, because he's a San Francisco running back, he got hurt
Right.
and had to leave. And then all of a sudden,
They all get hurt.
they all just get hurt.
He was
There's
a flame
3 of
for
them
me.
now.
Flame for me yesterday.
Yeah, flame
Josh
for me
Allen,
too, but-
54.88 points.
Wow. I finished 299th.
Yeah,
Top 300.
yeah.
Yeah. How
That's
many
good.
people participated?
There's over 600 yesterday, I
Wow.
believe.
Excellent.
By the way, you said Sean McDermott reason Josh Allen's not going to win a Super Bowl.
That
Can I
is
give
a-
you one more reason?
But that is a basic thing. You do not run the ball when you're trying to preserve your 3
It was
timeouts.
fine.
You don't
They
do
were
that. No, it's not fine.
Everybody's freaking out about
No,
that
but
today. It was fine.
I'll get to you in a second, Mikey. When I say a team needs a loss, the Bills aren't one of those teams. They don't need a loss. They've had a couple of losses. They now have 3 losses. They need home field advantage. They need to win. They don't have it. It goes through Kansas City now.
What they needed was to play defense yesterday. That's what they needed.
That's a fair point.
They needed not the juggernaut that is the
Yes.
Los Angeles Rams.
Well.
The other reason,
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
That's the other reason that Josh Allen won't win a Super Bowl.
He's destined to win another one.
Again, you know why?
Yeah.
Because he's on the team of destiny.
He's on a team of destiny.
Billy's brought me around.
The Rams are sneaky good.
I don't even
When
think
healthy,
they're
the Rams
sneaky good.
are sneaky good. Like they were a 500 team headed into yesterday. And
Yeah.
man, that offense, when everybody's healthy,
They're good.
crazy.
Yes.
Crazy. And Stafford, when he like wants to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. When he wants to be.
When
He
he
doesn't
feels-
always seem to want to be, though, which is weird.
Are you saying when he feels like it?
Yeah, when he feels like it. Sean McDermott, it's crazy how you think that he's not going to win a Super Bowl with Josh Allen. He was almost fired last year. Like, very close to being fired last
Fired
year.
his OC and it worked.
All their coaches were fired last year,
Well, now I mean,
with the exception of him.
he's going to be there a while, I would think. They're not going to fire him after this year.
I mean,
I feel like the problem with Buffalo is that they get to the playoffs and then don't do anything. And if the team of destiny does what the team of destiny does, then he's going to do it again.
Right.
I mean,
Clock's gonna
if
strike midnight
if
on
Buffalo has a first round exit in the playoffs, and we'll get to if the season ended today, and we can find out what that first round matchup will be later on the show.
wow.
It's
What a
called
tease.
teasing. You're welcome. I mean, if Buffalo gets ousted in the first round, They could absolutely fire him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be out in the first round. I have a new game that I want to play a little bit later today.
Do you really?
Yeah.
A new game?
We have winners
Wow.
and losers. I also have a game that I want to debut today called We Good?
Huh.
We can get to that
I'm
whenever,
That's it?
whenever
I'm good
you
with
want
it.
today. It's called We Good?
Just
And
good.
then we have
Good?
our big board bets later on today as well.
All right, we do not ignore college football here on God Bless Football. Lucy's going to join us coming up in just a few minutes. Billy, I'm looking at the Rams right now, and the Rams are good. Are you thinking the Rams could make the playoffs and make a deep run into the playoffs? Is that what you're thinking?
I mean, I don't know about that. I'm just saying they're not,
They're in the mix
they're
right
not
now.
a pushover.
Right.
Oh,
I mean, they're
love
7-6, but they are. They're in the mix. They're 7-6, and they have a chance of being that, that second wild card team in the NFC.
They're also one game back of the division, and they do play Seattle, who leads the division, in Week 18.
Yeah.
By the way, just pencil that in now. It's probably going to be Sunday night.
Okay.
Really?
Let me-
You're flexing it?
I'm flexing it already.
Okay.
I only have a Sharpie. Can I use a Sharpie or it's a pencil? 'Cause we
Well,
want to
listen, I didn't
erase
say
the
Sharpie
situation.
it in.
Yeah.
That's like stone.
So we have Lucy coming up. Billy has a new game. You have if the season ended today. We have winners and losers to get to. I mean, where do you want to go here, Billy?
You want me to explain to you how We Good works? I feel like We
yes.
Good
Yeah.
could be
Yes.
a
We Good
first.
is important.
All right, so this is how it works. Saints played the Giants yesterday. Saints won 14-11.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
good?
I had a feeling this is
That's a
how the
way.
game worked.
That's-
I wasn't sure until he did it, though,
I was expecting a little bit.
The gist
more.
of it is, I don't think we need to talk about the game. We good?
14
14-11. Saints beat the Giants. We good?
One interesting thing.
No.
One
There was
interesting
nothing
thing.
interesting from
good.
that game.
We're
We're not
not
good.
good.
I'm
We're
good.
not
I'm
There
good
is-
with it.
There's
You're not
something
good.
interesting.
Wow. Okay.
I bet I can give you something interesting.
All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
Good luck.
Since the special teams coach took over for the Saints,
Yeah.
field goals, they're 1-6 against them.
What do you mean?
They've tried to kick 6 field goals.
The
and
special
they've
teams
only
are
gotten one.
disasters.
So this is a
Special
new
teams
game
coach
off
took
of the
over.
original game. Interesting or not interesting, and that was not interesting.
That's
No,
interesting.
No.
Yeah, I don't care what
And
anyone
I-
says.
It's
That's
interesting-ish, I guess.
He's being nice.
Jaguars 10, Titans 6. We good?
We good?
We good.
All right, and the only thing about that, Jaguars scored all 10 points in the fourth quarter. Terrible win.
We good.
Terrible win for the Jaguars.
Didn't need
Lost
it. I
the
said we
number
were
one
good.
seed.
Yeah.
Lost the number 1 seed.
Browns 14.
Jaguars.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Okay, yes.
Browns 14, Steelers 27. We good?
I hate to not talk about Jameis in a week.
And
we good. We good. We good.
That wasn't a part 2 to the Browns Steelers we saw 2 weeks ago.
No.
Right.
No.
I'm good. We good.
Jets 26, Dolphins 32.
We good.
We good? I mean, we did.
I feel like we
did
talked
3
about that game a
hours
little bit.
yesterday on it. We good?
You know what? I want to go back to the Steelers.
All right.
I want to go back to the Steelers.
Really?
So far, we've only agreed on one.
I think when we both say we good, we have to move on.
All right,
by
then
law.
let's
Well,
move
no,
on.
two out
okay.
of 3.
Can I do the Billy thing where I just throw one little thing
Well,
out there? and
I'll
we
say
pivot?
this. I didn't vote. I just asked you guys. We
That's
good.
true.
You said yes. He said no.
Okay, so what do you say?
Well, I'm not. I'm not.
But
I'm not
you are in
voting
this
here.
case when there's a tie. you're the-
Tiebreaker.
Yes.
We'll talk about it.
Okay. Well, Fuentes should be the deciding vote, right? I mean, when we're tied, that's all I'm saying.
I got a good nugget. One good nugget if you give me it.
All right.
One good nugget.
That's another game.
I want to hear Mikey's nugget.
All right.
You ready?
Okay.
Last quarterback for the Cleveland Browns to win in Pittsburgh, Eric Crouch. Tim Couch. Sorry.
What?
Tim Couch.
Tim Couch.
Tim Couch.
Tim Crouch?
2002.
All right, Tim Couch.
2002. Tim Couch.
Not interested.
One so nugget.
That's come on. That 2002, the last time a divisional team won.
I
in the
know,
NFL
but it was
Stadium.
interesting if you said Tim Couch the first time
You're
instead
right,
of Eric
yeah.
Crouch. Yes.
Yeah, I'll edit that out.
Will you?
No. I got to go. I don't have time for that.
So we're good on that game?
We're good.
Okay.
Jets Dolphins. I asked if we good. Here's the thing about the Jets and the Dolphins. You
Yeah.
finally got the Aaron Rodgers game that you wanted, where he throws for over 300 yards, and
Yep.
it didn't matter at all.
The Aaron Rodgers game I wanted is a win. So
Yeah.
that's not it.
Well, no, you wanted
Not
it-
yesterday.
You wanted
Well,
to
no,
have-
not yesterday.
That was a master class in losing right there.
I was listening to Dominique Foxworth's show driving in today,
Yeah.
and they asked an interesting question, and I thought that it was funny, so I will ask you guys and just steal this from them.
Okay.
Has Aaron Rodgers won his last game in the NFL?
No.
No.
Because you think he's coming back, or you think that you have a win left on the schedule?
No, they're going to win a game because it would make sense for them not to.
I mean, you have Jags, feisty 10 points in the fourth quarter yesterday.
Feisty.
Then you have Rams, Bills, Dolphins. Where's your win? It has to be Jaguars. If not, you're not.
It has to be the Jags, yeah.
You think he's coming back?
I don't.
Are you guys excited about his Netflix show?
I'm not.
No. It has to be an annoyance to you guys.
I have no interest.
If it was going well,
yes.
you'd be like, yeah, this is great. It's going horribly, so you're like, I do not care what this man's doing, and everything I see on here is going to be another reason that I can blame him for why we're not doing
The
well.
worst thing that could happen is it makes me like him again.
I don't think that's going to happen.
That's not. No,
I don't think that's
the only
on
thing
the
that will
table.
make you like him again is winning.
Yeah, but
and that's not happening.
I thought I proved my bona fides
Right.
yesterday when I proved how much I know this Jets team.
Yes.
When I was telling you how the game, Billy was so worried that the Dolphins were going to lose, and I just explained to him, no, this is how it's going to go, and it's pretty much how it went.
Yeah, but winning at this point, winning now would make you angrier at Aaron Rodgers.
Go macro with the season. The Jets are going to win a game against Buffalo. Or they're going to win against the Dolphins. A game they have no business winning, and they're going to be like, yeah, look at us. Just like when they could have had Trevor Lawrence, and they beat the Super Bowl-bound Rams for no reason. This is what's going to happen. The Jets are going to win one more game, and it's going to be a game they have no business winning.
Who do they have week 17?
Week 17 is the last week, Dolphins.
They're not winning that game.
All right, is that week 17?
The Dolphins are playing
whatever
great
the
right
last week is.
It's Jaguars, Rams, Bills, Dolphins.
Okay. Well, the Bills will be resting by then, so they might beat the Bills. Mikey's right.
Oh.
They could beat the Rams.
They could.
They could beat the Rams.
Well, they could beat anyone, but
Why
it's going to happen.
Because
Yes,
they're
Billy.
the Jets,
Yes.
Billy. That's why.
Yes, Billy.
Billy, what do you think about the Dolphins, by the way? Tua, another great game. Dolphins pull out that victory.
Yeah.
The Colts play the Broncos next week. You need the Colts to win that game desperately.
No,
you do.
I disagree.
Why?
I think you need the Broncos to win
But
that
then the
game.
Broncos go to 9-5, don't they?
The Broncos go to 9-5, but then the Broncos have Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs, which are all losable games.
Agreed.
And then the Colts
Chiefs
schedule
could be locked up.
Well, but here's the thing: the Colts schedule moving forward after the Broncos is Titans, Giants, Jaguars. Those are all wins. Like you need a Colts loss, I think, because I think that the Colts could then win out after that, and I think the Broncos could use the win and then lose out. And then, by the way,
I see what you're saying.
I was looking out scenarios. Chargers are still in play here.
They are very much
still in play here.
Wait, have you looked at this scenario? What if the Colts and Dolphins both win out?
If the Colts and Dolphins both win out, but the Colts, that's why I want the Colts to lose to the Broncos next week.
I understand what you're saying, but that would put the Broncos at 10-5, and technically you're trying to catch the Broncos. But I understand what you're saying.
If the Colts and Dolphins end with the same record, the Colts get in because the Colts beat the Dolphins head-to-head in one of those garbage games when Tua was injured.
All right, so it would make sense for you wanting the Colts to lose this week.
A lot of people think that best-case scenario is for the Colts to win. I would say that I want the Broncos to win in this scenario. And the Chargers have Buccaneers, which they could lose, Broncos, which they should win in the scenario where we want the Broncos to lose, then Patriots and Raiders. They also have kind of an easiest schedule after the next two games. Okay. We could have a situation where multiple teams are 10-7.
Right.
One thing to keep an eye on, the Colts own the tiebreaker over the Dolphins because they won.
Yeah. Here's the thing about the Dolphins. While I am excited that they won yesterday,
they could win out.
They could possibly win out. I mean, look, the Texans, if they go to Houston and they win that Texans game, that's like the win that you've been wanting to have.
Next three are the Niners, the Browns, and the Jets.
Yeah, but the Niners are down. It's like
no. I'm saying
it's still a big win.
I'm agreeing with you. If they beat Houston in Houston, I could see the Dolphins then winning out.
But however, going to overtime to beat the Jets is not good. So the Dolphins are weird because the Dolphins, Tua has a good game, the offense looks good, but also it takes you to overtime to beat the Jets. So I don't know. I'm not very confident should they make the playoffs that they're going to make a very deep run.
All right, are we done with we're good or do we have more?
We're good.
We're good. I like the game.
Yeah,
I do.
We're good.
We're good. All right, Lucy is great. She joins us. College football. We'll break it down next.
Do you love sports betting but wish you could get that extra edge? You have to check this out. Masterclass just dropped BetSmart, top sports betting strategies. A game-changing course taught by pros who've made millions. Learn directly from Nick Costos, Captain Jack Andrews, and Joe Fortenbaugh as they share the insider secrets on managing your bankroll, spotting hidden edges, and avoiding those rookie mistakes that could cost you big. Whether you're just starting out or looking to take your bets to the next level, this course is packed with tips that can change the game. I'm a big fan of prop bets. Hearing Joe Fortenbaugh break down the backstory of his prop bet of Pink's national anthem during the 2018 Super Bowl gave me a thrill to continue prop betting. You always aim for the anthem to come in the under. Forget that lucky jersey or the assigned seating on game day. Learn from sharps who meticulously manage risk and evaluate data when making decisions on where and when to wager their money. Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes up to as much as 50% off. Head over to masterclass.com/GBF for the current offer. That's up to 50% off at masterclass.com/GBF. Masterclass.com/GBF. And remember, all sports betting involves risk. You are responsible for complying with all sports betting laws in your jurisdiction.
Stugotz, it's here again.
What?
My favorite segment of the week.
What's that?
Lucy's here.
Ah,
yeah,
wow.
It's time that we cram all of our college football information into one segment, and then we go back to talking about the Rams or whoever.
At one point over the weekend, Lucy tweeted out, "Quit yapping, just tell me the playoff," or something like that. Something to that.
Oh, I love that.
Who was yapping? Who was doing all the yapping, Lucy?
All of them were yapping. Nick Saban, yap, yap, yap. Kirk Herbstreit, yap, yap, yap. Just tell me what's going to happen. They love the sound of their own voices. Jesus, just tell me.
Oh, I love it. All right, we'll get to what actually happened here in a second, but you went to the Big Ten championship game. Did you have a good time?
Are you sure?
Okay.
I have a take. It's a take that's going to be incredibly unpopular. No one is going to like this take.
Okay.
I believe the Big Ten championship game needs the Big Ten West. It needs. I don't think the game itself, it was probably a lot better than if Iowa were to have played in it this year. But the vibes, you need a fan base that knows that they're there to see their team get blown out by 45 points and they don't care anyways. 'Cause the vibes are electric. It was like a funeral compared to when, I've seen Iowa or Wisconsin play there, because everyone was just like, we hope we have a chance. We don't want to get too drunk. We don't want to miss it. And Iowa fans are like, we need to get drunk. That's the only way we're going to be able to watch this.
See, I have a take that's not going to be popular with you, Lucy. I think the Big Ten championship game needs to be played outside in the snow. Just the Big Ten. It needs to be played at, Lambeau.
Wow.
I actually do like that. I think that helps my case.
Yeah,
I think that would make, because the game itself was better than any Big Ten championship game we've seen, even though it weirdly didn't feel like that. And by we've seen, I mean in the recent memory, post legends and leaders, I guess. But yeah, the game itself was fine, but the vibes were just very slow there.
Right.
You could really tell that Penn State did not expect to be there. Oregon did not expect Penn State there. Oregon didn't travel particularly well, because why would you fly all the way to Indianapolis, especially when you know that you have two potential playoff trips coming up? It was just man, we really need some shitty teams here to just get the vibes up. Not
I
the
understand.
game, but the vibes.
So my guess is the vibes weren't where they probably should have been, because both teams knew they were getting into the playoffs regardless. And secondly, I am totally with Lucy here. 45-37. That is not Big Ten football.
No.
You need an Iowa in there. You need it to be like a 17-3 game. I'm with you, Lucy.
When you mean to tell me Penn State had 500 yards of offense in the Big Ten championship game, and you think there isn't a problem, there is one.
Last year, we bet under half a touchdown for Iowa in both halves, and we won. And now they're scoring 70 points, 80 points. No.
I missed those.
It's pretty impressive to do that, though. It's pretty impressive not to score to not score anything in that game. You have to try to do that. People forget that.
Lucy, off the field, the belle of the ball this weekend was Timothy Chalamet. Did you see what Timothy Chalamet did this week? Were you impressed by his football knowledge, or was this just a situation where an actor was acting?
I did not watch this live. We were at the Big Ten Fan Fest, which was not that exciting. We probably made the wrong choice.
Sounds fun.
Timothy. Watching it back, I was impressed. I mean, most likely the situation we have here is that someone gave him a lot of research, but also they could have just given the people on College Game Day that same research, you know?
Right.
I believe he's a pretty big sports fan, so I'm not saying he's acting. I'm thank you for doing the research, doing what you needed to do for your job. And hell, maybe he really is into Maction. Who knows? He's the only one who called that game correctly.
I like the idea. I don't know if you remember, because this is a couple years ago, and it was baseball related, when A-Rod was doing like Sunday Night Baseball, and they were like, yeah, J-Lo really gets in there and helps A-Rod prep, and she hands him notes, and she's there like at the the blackboard writing things down. I like the idea of Kylie and Timothy just every Saturday going over what's going on in college football, just in the event that one day College Game Day comes calling to have him be a guest picker.
Have their own playoff committee.
Yeah, exactly.
How
right.
can you put them in? Look at their FBI score. Yeah, I like it.
It's Wednesday night. She's trying to go out in Beverly Hills. He's like, you have to watch this Mac game. You have to watch it.
What was his record? Like,
I think it ended up being like 4-3, so it wasn't even that great. He just had like a ton of knowledge. Yeah.
He was calling out like Billy Napier building the Louisiana program and like the culture there. It was like you could tell somebody, I don't know if it was him or not, put some time into it.
Right. So you're saying he just didn't know that off the top of his dome? Is that what you're saying?
Well, and he looked great.
Right.
He could have.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's not discount.
I don't want to say he didn't.
I think he ponied up $400,000 for McAfee does that field goal challenge.
Yeah,
it bothers you.
No,
Why does it bother? No, you made a face. Why does it bother you?
Well, no, I mean he
was in Dune.
It was up to $1.2 million.
I know,
for
but they missed.
Right, I know, and they were happy he missed.
I sometimes wonder about that. I think last week, like, Dude Perfect was there, and they're like, yeah, if you make it, we have to, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to donate money to charity. And they're like, whoa, what are you saying? Don't say that out loud.
Lucy or Goosey, was McAfee happy that he missed that kick?
I will say Lucy probably.
Yes.
He's given out a lot of money this year. It felt like last year nobody was hitting those kicks, so it was the special thing. And then this year everybody hit them.
Well, the thing is, everybody's getting a second chance this year, right? And that's really where they're doing it.
Yeah.
Getting their distance.
Well, the thing is that they've also figured it out, right? So, like, if you're smart, it's a risk, right? But if you're capable of kicking a field goal, you miss the first one because you know the second one's going to be worth twice as much money.
Right.
And then if you nail that one,
You might as well miss the first one.
you
Yes.
might as well. But sometimes
Right.
you don't get that second opportunity. Lucy, I don't know if you know this. You definitely don't know this, actually. Yesterday, we had a watch-along here down at Vivo in Dolphin Mall for the Jets and the Dolphins. And we were so inspired by Pat McAfee and the money that he gave away that we had a contest.
Is
And
that the reason? Yeah.
I gave away $185 that were in Stugotz's pocket.
You didn't give away man.
It was a guessing game, and I said to the person you could win his autographed book, and they got it wrong. And I said, okay, McAfee almost gave away $1 million. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do double or nothing here. If you win, you get 2 books, or you get nothing. And then we kind of altered it a little bit. It's like, okay, you get 1 book and whatever's in Stugotz's pocket. Now, I didn't ask for his permission to do that. And it ended up being $187, but they let him keep his lucky $2 bill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. But no, so they won and they got what Stugotz was, what was in his
They
pocket.
got $187 that I did not want to give away. Billy gave away on my behalf, and they got a book as well.
No, they said they didn't want the book, so
Yeah,
we kept
they
the
said
book.
they didn't
Well,
want
no, she
it.
came
They
back
said keep your book.
Yeah.
She did say that. She felt so bad about that. She came back with 20 of my dollars asking for the book.
Did you tell her it was $22.50 or something with tax?
I told her it was $187.
We've gotten off track because we now know who is in the college football playoffs.
Yes.
The bracket is out. The
Yep.
rankings are out.
Yep.
Winners and losers, Lucy. Should Alabama be justifiably mad because they seem to be kind of babies about the situation? They lost 3 games. What are they doing?
No, Alabama does not get any, like, I think something that stuck with me yesterday, and Nick Saban said this, and then Greg Byrne, Alabama's AD, came out and said this, and they were like, this whole situation, it's going to make us we don't know if we're going to schedule tough non-conference games anymore. Which, like, all right, sure, get the argument. Alabama didn't lose in the non-conference.
Yeah.
Alabama played Mercer 3
Right.
weeks ago. Beating the literal Wisconsin didn't seem to matter when Oklahoma destroyed your season. When you lost 24-3 to a terrible Oklahoma team. The Alabama reaction just feels very much of like, this is the first time someone's told the rich kid no. And you're just like, what do you mean? Like, we played Wisconsin in the offseason. The whole thing is ridiculous. Don't lose. Don't lose to Vanderbilt. Don't lose to Oklahoma. Lose to Georgia. Okay, that's fine, but you didn't do that. Like, it's just Alabama, the whole reaction is just very just like, hey, man, you lost to Oklahoma at Oklahoma. Let's just say you didn't lose to Vanderbilt. That's still pretty much a disqualifying loss. That's how bad that loss is. The whole thing, they're just being annoying. I think SMU, the way they lost in the ACC championship game with, hey, you're losing by like 3 touchdowns, you come back, you lose to a 56-yard game-winning field goal. You win 11-1 throughout the season. I understand you didn't play anybody tough, but it wasn't. The entire reaction is just very Alabama in the sense that they're just not used to this, and now they're playing in the ReliaQuest Bowl.
Lucy or Goosey, Billy, thank you for leading me here. South Carolina has a bigger gripe than Alabama.
I would say Lucy, especially with Clemson winning the ACC. So now South Carolina, and I know Alabama also does have a win over Georgia, but South Carolina has been playing very good football lately. They've been playing much better football than Alabama has been playing. I still think that the way things played out, I look at the bracket and I think what people kind of misunderstand about the college football playoff, which I hate to ever give that selection committee any sort of like praise or grace or whatever. They do say it's the 12 best teams, but that's obviously not the case because you have, conference champions get an automatic bid and whatnot. It's the 12 most deserving teams. And South Carolina did have a bunch of early losses in the season, and sometimes the SEC, that doesn't play into the way you want it. They do deserve to be there more than Alabama, especially with the way that South Carolina finished the season. I don't know if you could say there's a team in the country playing better right now than they are, but it's tough. Don't get blown out to Ole Miss. It's easy to look back and just say, like,
right.
Hey, don't lose like that.
Right. They beat Clemson, though.
They beat Clemson. They beat Clemson at Clemson in a rivalry game, which
Crazy.
makes it tougher.
Yes.
But, I think that the selection committee watched that ACC championship game and was like, this sucks.
Right.
We did not want to have to deal with this. This is not a problem we wanted. But I think that if SMU had won, Alabama would have been in the field and not South Carolina, because Alabama does have a head-to-head win over South Carolina. I do think if Alabama and South Carolina played right now, that I would feel pretty comfortable with South Carolina winning that game.
Guys, this is a big one. Lucy or Goosey, Bill Belichick is going to be the next coach at the University of North Carolina.
I think I'm gonna say Lucy because I just keep getting.
Oh my God.
No, I know. I'm not saying.
I get it.
It's right. I'm just.
There's never been a response like this ever in the history of the show.
I've been getting so many text messages. I woke up with like 3 text messages of tweets being like, "I'm hearing something will be set in 48 hours." I'm saying this because the last coach that UNC hired was an old washed guy who probably shouldn't have been hired. It kind of feels like history's repeating itself a little bit. I know, that's their type. I'm not saying that this is a good call. I'm not saying that I would approve of this hire. I'm just saying I think they'll do it.
Wait, you think it would be a bad hire for them?
A bad hire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really see, like, I see in some senses how it would work because college football is a lot more like the NFL right now than it has been in previous years. I can't imagine him recruiting and being cool about it. Sitting down with a parent and trying to act interested, that doesn't seem like something he'll do.
I think he's going to take it.
Do you think, let me ask you something, because we talked about this yesterday on the show, and Stugotz was telling us that one of the reasons why it does make sense and one of the things that has Bill Belichick leaning towards taking this job is his potential involvement in the lacrosse program. Have your sources told you anything about that?
No, They have not. But I do know that UNC, great non-revenue sports school, great Olympic sports school. So that would make sense, I guess. I didn't know he was into lacrosse. So.
He's into lacrosse. His daughter coaches lacrosse. Dave Petramala, one of the coaches for the North Carolina men's lacrosse team, is one of his best friends. It's weird, but look, they're using lacrosse to try to recruit Bill Belichick, which is insane.
I just have a hard time imagining Bill Belichick willingly spending his time with like 19-year-olds.
Well, I mean,
I know the joke you're about to make. But I believe she's 26.
Everybody's got a type, Lucy.
Lucy or Goosey, if you're the committee, you cannot rank Clemson 16th and have them make the playoff.
Goosey, because that's just the way the system works.
I know, but I hate the system, okay? I don't like it.
No, the system is bad and flawed, and I think you're going to see that. I think if anyone has like a really big complaint, weird enough, I think it's Oregon. You go the entire year undefeated. You're the only team to have done that, and it feels like they have one of the more difficult stretches in the playoff than most. Like you're what they get the winner of Ohio State, Tennessee. Like that feels kind of like you got a little bit unlucky there. I think the whole system will be reworked because like I do like the idea that there was a bid stealer. I think that's kind of the point of like a playoff system and whatnot. But like, yeah, Clemson probably didn't deserve to be there, but you won your conference championship game. That's just the way the rules work.
I like the idea of if you go undefeated, and obviously this is very specific to this year, but if you're the only team that goes undefeated, you choose your path. So there's not even reseeding. You just get to choose who you want every round.
I like that.
I'm going to take it a step further. I think we need to throw out the whole structure part of it, and you do reseeding. The number one seed gets to pick. And you know what? When you're in a situation like this, you get to pick a few teams to go, you guys can play for the last spot. Like Alabama, South Carolina, you guys go play and you get in.
No, I mean, if I were having the people that were like playing for the last spot, I would pick like Middle Tennessee and like Mercer. Like you guys are playing for the last spot, and then we get the winner of that round.
Right.
I can't believe Florida State made the playoffs.
Yeah, crazy. Right. Weird.
But Lucy, you seem intrigued by Oregon, like allowing Oregon the ability to see all the games play out, and then they get to pick who their next opponent's
Which one
be.
would they pick?
How about
They'd
this?
pick SMU,
Okay,
Penn
guys,
State, right?
let's not be ridiculous. Okay, let's not be silly gooses.
We would never
here.
do that here.
Let's not be ridiculous.
Right.
They get one pick for the entire bracket. So they get to choose when they choose their opponent. You know what I mean? So they don't necessarily need to do it their first game. They could maybe hold it to the second game if they're comfortable with how the bracket is playing out for them.
So wait, but they could just pick who they play in the national championship then.
Well, no, they can't because you already have
You're forced to play the winner. In the national championship. You have to use it before the semifinals, right?
And it has to be someone in the field already.
Yeah, correct.
I would just be like, Purdue, let's go.
No. Let's say hypothetically,
crazy right now.
Hypothetically, Clemson wins, Tennessee wins, Penn State wins, and Indiana wins. Yeah. They get to choose their next opponent.
Yeah, exactly right.
They would choose Indiana.
Or they could go, the following round where it's the semis, and they get to choose who they play in the semis to make it to the national championship.
Lucy's intrigued.
Okay.
You get one pick per bracket. Only if you're the
Clemson.
Only if you're the only undefeated team around.
If Clemson wins, you would pick Clemson, of course.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would pick Clemson.
Right.
But Dan Lanning's a hardo. He'd be like, give me the best team.
Right, give me the best.
Yeah,
well, Arizona State is an easy path. I mean,
do you think, Lucy, Oregon's going to be able to do it?
I don't feel as confident after watching that Penn State game. No one's made that Penn State offense look that good in a long time. I think there's some pretty big red flag issues with Oregon that they need to address. But I think it's very possible. I think why I was so disappointed in the Penn State game was just the way they were run over. I think what I was so intrigued by was every single time that Penn State got within striking distance where it felt like we had like a ball game, Oregon was immediately like, enough of that. We're done. Touchdown, 45 seconds. Like, they have a way of just, like, really just killing someone's momentum and vibe. But I think things are wide open. I think it hurts Oregon's case a little that they haven't lost. I think that's good for a team to have under their belt. I don't feel as confident, You're in a bracket with Georgia. You're in a bracket with a very feisty, could ruin your season Arizona State team. Texas is there. Ohio State is there. Like, I don't feel confident in anybody right now, which is why I really like this playoff. Not this system specifically, but this will be a fun year.
Lucy or Goosey, championship weekend has been ruined because of the college football playoff.
No, Goosey.
Okay.
I think in some ways it has. I think it did have an impact on the Big Ten championship. It didn't mean as much as it once did. I also think that's because they had fans that aren't good at drinking there. No offense to Penn State and Oregon. I think that if you look at the Arizona State Iowa State game, the playoff only made that more fun, more intense. Although that game ended up being kind of a dud.
I guess it's the games in which both teams knew they were getting in, regardless of the outcome.
There were only two games for that. There were Texas and Georgia, and that didn't ruin that game by any means. Like no one really opted out. Both of the games every game in the Power Four, with the exception of the Big 12, was competitive this weekend. SMU. that ended up coming down to, a game-winning field goal. I don't think it ruined conference championship games. I think it ruins the fan experience of conference championship games. Because if I'm a fan of a team that's making the playoff, why am I going to spend money to go to Indianapolis, something that I could have done in previous years, when I know, okay, there's a good chance my team's playing in the Fiesta Bowl, and I'd rather go see them in a second-round playoff game or go to their, hosting game or whatnot. I think the fan experience is actually what suffers the most, not necessarily the game, because you still are playing for something. You're playing for a bye.
Sure.
If you're not playing for a bye, you might be losing your conference championship game, but you certainly want to have a good showing so you can convince the committee you deserve to host the first round. I just think the fan experience is actually what suffers the most.
We will preview the first round with you next week. But final one here, Lucy or Goosy, Nick Saban loves that in his first year not being the Alabama head coach, that Alabama did not make the playoffs.
I'm going to say Goosey because every time on the broadcast he talked about Alabama not making it, he said we.
He has to, though.
Yeah. I think it hurt him.
You think it hurt him?
Look, he might be back. He might be like, look, that Oklahoma loss, that was too much even for me.
I was going to say, do you think like he feels like he let the Crimson Tide down? He's like, if I would have been there, this wouldn't have happened. Not on my watch.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Yeah.
Well, he's still technically like an advisor or something. So it's not like he's like out of the picture for Bama. I think, look, I don't know who could have saved them from the 4-6 at the time Oklahoma Sooners or something.
Oh, I promise you, Nick thinks he's the guy that could have saved them. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Lucy, we appreciate it. We will talk to you next week. Exciting. The playoffs are here. Thank you, Lucy. We'll preview the games next week.
Lucy, you going to Army Navy, or are you going to find?
That's our Super Bowl, Lucy. Yeah.
We are not going to Army Navy. Unfortunately, we had a lot of fun last year, but
been hanging out with the Golics too much.
The troops did not want anything to do with me. He said, "We fight for your freedom and our freedom to say no to talking to you on camera." I said, respect.
All right. Wow. Thank you, Lucy. We'll talk to you next week. Stugotz here. Right now, my friends over at Simply Safe, they are extending their Black Friday deal for our God Bless Football listeners. Simply Safe is the home security I trust to keep my home and family safe. I've been telling you that for years now. This is your last chance to protect your home at Simply Safe's lowest prices of the year. Simply Safe is a new way to protect your home that stops intruders before they break into your home. Old school systems only take action once someone is already inside your home. That's too late. Simply Safe's Active Guard outdoor protection changes the game by preventing crime before it even happens. Simply Safe is extending its massive Black Friday deal for our listeners this week only. You can take 50% off any new system with a select professional monitoring plan. This is your last chance to claim their best offer of the year. Head to simplysafe.com/GBF to claim your discount and make sure your home is safe this holiday season. Don't wait. This offer won't last long. Keep your home, your family, and your peace of mind protected with Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Let's get right into it, Stugotz.
Oh, yes. Really?
We have a lot to get to. We have winners and losers. We have If the Season Ended Today next segment. We have Billy's Big Board Bets brought to you by...
Are you nervous? 2-1 yesterday on the live show?
Yeah, so I 2-1 yesterday. Here's the thing about 2-1 that I've learned. You go 2-1 every single week, you...
Hall of Fame.
You win money.
You're
Hall
eating.
of Fame.
You're eating, because that's how I've I think I've had 2 weeks this season that were 1-2. I've had no 0-3s. I've had a couple 3-0s, but 2-1 pays the bills.
That's where you live.
That's how you get to 38-17 on the season.
Yes.
2-1s over and over and over again. So
right.
I'll take it. It wasn't granted the 2-1.
Of course you'll take it. You had a winning week.
Granted, the 2-1 is not how I expected it to come yesterday. I thought Jonnu Smith over 4.5.
You thought Jonnu Smith was the lock of the day yesterday.
I really that was the first one that I picked down on my 3. The first one that I was feeling confident about was Jonnu Smith, and they didn't throw to him until overtime, which is crazy, but whatever.
All right.
Don't need to get to that now.
Should we get to winners and losers?
Let's get to it.
You want to do winners and losers right now? Presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. Please drink responsibly. Yeah, you want to?
I do.
I'm asking. Of course.
I'm waiting for
something.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Fuentes is groggy this morning. Quiet, he's groggy.
Yeah. Long weekends.
Yep.
Sunday shows will do that. All right. I have 2 losers and 1 winner.
Are you going loser or winner first?
I think I'm going to start out with a loser this week.
So you're going loser.
I'm going
Okay.
to start out with a loser right now.
All right.
And it's rude to just say this person's a loser.
Mhm.
This loser comes from a game that we featured earlier, and we good?
Oh, yeah.
Loser. Steelers running back Cordero Patterson. Why?
Tell me.
His stats yesterday, 4 carries for 3 yards, 1 reception for -2 yards, and a fumble lost. That was Cordero Patterson's game yesterday.
Arthur Smith will still use him in every situation.
No doubt. Favorite player.
Yep.
The loser. Just because I thought it was a funny stat line.
That's awesome.
We'll just keep moving along. You want my next loser?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. This is a game we haven't really discussed yet in winners and losers. Falcons, Vikings. Falcons 21, Vikings 42.
You have a loser from this
Sam
game.
Darnold.
Yes.
I mean, he might be a quarterback.
Listen,
I thought you
spoiler,
were calling him the loser.
No.
spoiler
Oh,
alert.
all right.
Sam Darnold's my winner.
Oh, all right. Wow, rare game with
My
a winner and a
winner's
loser.
also from this game.
Sorry.
Okay, who's your winner?
Michael Penix.
Wow,
Michael Penix.
Good one.
Kirk Cousins
Yes.
keeps playing Michael Penix stock up.
Incredible segue because my loser, Kirk Cousins. He failed at his revenge game where nothing seemed to go right. The fans were seen with T-shirts that said, quote, "We'll never forget you, Kurt." K-U-R-T. Not his name.
Fantastic job, by the way.
He was booed while taking the field. He had 2 interceptions, and he lost.
Poor Kirk Cousins.
They'll never forget Kirk Cousins over there in Minnesota. Loser.
Whoa,
Kirk Cousins.
Fantastic job.
We'll never forget you.
I honestly don't even think that it was on purpose.
We didn't remember you.
Yeah. Never forget Kirk Cousins.
You have a winner or a loser, Mikey?
Yeah, quick winner. City of Miami. Thank
Yeah.
you for the hospitality. It
Wow.
was wonderful
Wow.
yesterday.
You're running for
Thank
office?
you for that.
What's going on?
Yeah, what is happening?
Just trying to convince somebody to move.
My winner was, I like that. No state tax. My winner was Sam Darnold.
Oh,
My
okay.
losers are everyone who watched Saints and Giants and everyone who watched Jags and Titans.
Yeah, we good.
2 of the worst games in the history of the
Yeah,
NFL.
We were good with
We
that
good.
one. You want a winner here, Fuentes? Do you have a winner or a loser? You want to throw in here?
I was going to get on Mike McDaniel for not using Jonnu Smith enough, mainly because it hurt my bets. But they won the game, so I
so
guess
it's-
Mike.
He had the
with you
game-winning
there.
touchdown.
See you-
I
winner
know,
or
but
loser?
you probably don't get
3
to
catches all in overtime
Yeah.
on the last drive.
How about you
Right.
use them during the game? You probably don't need overtime.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Not a single
Really?
target before overtime, because even that weird no-look pitch wasn't intended for him, so it wasn't even counted as a target to
He'd
him.
only been averaging like 25 receptions over the last 3 games.
It
but-
seemed
He was
like
due for
the
a stinker.
lock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
the stinker
no, it
was his
wasn't a
coach.
So was Mike McDaniel.
Stinker, he won the game.
3 receptions, like 44 yards, game-winning touchdown. Stinker was McDaniel's.
This
play
is what
call.
gambling does to people, man. You won the game.
Dude, the offense had been cooking with Jonnu involved the first 3 weeks before this. All of a sudden, they don't use him. Now you're struggling against the 3-9 Jets.
No, well,
At home.
But here's the thing: by not using him, I think that they were expecting them to be using him. Tyreek is over 100 yards again because they're just game planning now for Jonnu Smith, which is crazy.
They scored 32 points.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Well, it took 'em to overtime.
You're acting like they had a bad day. I mean,
Overtime, 3-9
yeah,
Jets.
but the offense had a good day.
All right,
All right, sorry.
let's get back.
They had
on track
15
here.
points like in the 3rd quarter, by the way.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm yelling at
Not
you.
a great game.
Back on track here. Winner:
Yes. Oh, winner. Wow.
the Raiders. With their loss, they hold the #1 pick in the NFL draft right now.
Yeah.
While they're tied with the Giants for the worst record, according to Tankathon right now, they own the tiebreaker due to strength of schedule. Now let's play a quick game of looking ahead. Looking ahead, the Raiders face the Falcons, Jaguars, Saints, and Chargers, while the Giants face the Ravens, Falcons, Colts, and Eagles. Things are starting to look good, I think, for the Raiders. Yeah.
Really?
That
They
game
take
against the Jaguars
one
in a couple weeks
Sanders
is going to
or
be a
two?
big one.
They're going to take both Sanders. They are.
I could see it happening.
No, that's happening.
Yeah, I could see
It
it
is happening. You heard the reports of Deion Sanders was at an event
Mm-hmm.
in Las Vegas, pulled Antonio Pierce aside to take both my boys. Right?
Yeah, well,
He
may
meant
not-
him.
May not be.
That's what he meant. Yes.
He didn't mean
Take
Shiloh.
me and my boy.
He meant-
Yeah, take my boys so that I can take your job.
May
And
not-
my boy needs his other boy there for protection.
May not be up to Antonio Pierce. Raiders have lost 9 straight games.
I think
not good.
Pierce, well, it might be up to Deion.
Imagine Deion.
I'll
gets
make
a
you the
head coaching-
linebackers coach.
Deion gets a head coaching job, and he's like, you know what? Cam Ward. I'm gonna take him.
Over Shador?
Yeah, doesn't take Shador. Be great.
Son.
Yeah, son, love you. Nice run we had.
2 seconds.
Not here.
I like Cam better.
As somebody who watches the NFL draft, if the Raiders do hire Dion and they have the number 1 pick, can we just start at the 2nd pick? Like, we know how it's going to be. Like, can we just skip all the formality of the Raiders are on the clock? Like, it just go.
I will tell you this.
Well,
and
why you whispering?
I should, because this is definitely something that I shouldn't say.
Okay. Say it.
So we had our 3 Smirnoff watch parties.
Yes.
Our next one's supposed to be for the NFL draft. NFL draft is in Green Bay this year.
That's right.
I heard some rumors. We may be shifting. Instead of going to Green Bay, going to the city with the number 1 pick.
Could be in Las Vegas, friends.
Wow. And Dead and Company playing at the Sphere.
All right, never mind. I want to go back to
just
Green Bay.
announced the residency.
Back to Green Bay. Back to Green Bay, folks.
If the season ended today, and Billy's big board bets up next.
This episode is brought to you by Disney Plus. Game on, because ESPN Plus content is available on Disney Plus. You can watch your favorites from Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus together like never before. With ESPN Plus, unwrap a full day of NBA action on Christmas Day. Tip off the festivities with the Spurs and Knicks, followed by the Mavs and Timberwolves. Then a clash between the Lakers and Warriors, followed by the 76ers and Celtics. And finally, the Nuggets face off against the Suns, all streaming December 25th. Then with Hulu, watch the terrifying sci-fi thriller Alien Romulus, where a group of young space colonizers come face to face with the ultimate horror. And on Disney Plus, follow the adventures of 4 kids across the galaxy as they meet unlikely allies and enemies in Star Wars Skeleton Crew, starring Jude Law. All of these and more now streaming and available with a bundle subscription. Visit DisneyPlus.com for details. Terms apply.
All right, wrapping it up here on a Monday. We have Billy's big board bets. We have if the season ended today, and I think we should do this, Billy. You're on fire with your picks. You're great. I think you should do the big board bets. Do one, and then we'll go to Mikey A on if the season ended today. Then we'll go back to you on another big board bet. You get what I'm saying? Weave it in and out.
You're saying I do one of Billy's big board bets brought to you by the comedy series Bookie from Chuck Lorre and Nick Bacai, starring Sebastian Maniscalco. Season 1 is now streaming on Max. Season 2 debuts December 12th. That's what you're saying? I do one of those picks, and then Mikey gives us a situation
You
where
do one of those picks, you clear off the board, you write down your second pick. Mikey kills that time by doing if the season ended today. How about that? Huh?
All right, here we go. I'll just give you the first one then real quick. Ready?
All right.
Rico Dowdle over 66.5 rushing yards. Last week, 112. The week before, 86. Bengals defense ranks 23rd in the league right now against the rush. Seems like this may be an easy one, hopefully. 66.5 rushing yards.
All right. Thank you.
Right.
That's the first one.
Wow.
I like that.
I'm going to skip the AFC because we have a time crunch, so I'm just going to go right to the NFC. If the season ended today, Commanders at the Eagles, round 1.
Wow.
It's a good game.
That is a great
That is
game.
a good game.
Division game, rivals, right down the street from each other.
Yep.
That is a big-time
That's
game.
a
I
good
take
game.
the Eagles to win that game.
Close one.
I like it. It's a good game, but I kind of don't like when it's like division rivals in the first round. Like I've already seen this game twice, you know. Like,
Right.
Yeah, but then you got to have the tiebreaker.
No, you're right. You're right. Well, unless you know.
Unless one team already won twice.
Exactly.
Yes. We don't know. I have no idea.
Prove it. Win it 3 times.
It could be a rubber match. It could not be. I'm with Fuentes on that.
All right, ready for the second one?
I want to see if it's a rubber match, but yes, I'm ready for the second one.
Well, hold on. Now I want to know if it's a rubber match. Is it a rubber match?
It's big. I'm going to find out if it's a rubber match.
All right, while you look that up, I'll give you the second one. Brandon Aubrey, over 1.5 field goals made. He only has 2 games this entire season where he hasn't done this.
All right, it's not a rubber match because they've only played once.
That's what I was going to say.
Right, so they play again in 2 weeks. The Eagles lost the Eagles won the first game, so Washington needs to win, and then I'll be okay with that as an opening round matchup because I love a good rubber match.
Well,
Anyway,
if the season ended today, the Green Bay Packers are traveling to the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh wow,
it's a good game.
It is a good game.
It's also Thursday night this week, I think.
No, that's 49ers.
Or is it Sunday or Monday?
49ers
It's this
Rams.
week, though. I know it's this week.
Those two teams play each other.
Yeah,
you're
it's
saying.
either Monday or Sunday. It's a primetime game.
So you're
Revenge game.
Yeah.
So you're telling me if the season ended today,
We're getting a
Green Bay-
revenge game and a rubber match.
But Green Bay would be traveling to Seattle for an opening round playoff
That's
game.
what I'm telling you.
I have the Packers.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want the last one?
I do.
Yeah.
Billy's Big Board Bets brought to you by the comedy series The Bookie. From Chuck Lorre and Nick Bakay, starring Sebastian Maniscalco. Season 1 is streaming now on Max. Season 2 debuts December 12th. The final pick, Joe Burrow, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. He's done it 4 weeks in a row now, 9 times this year already.
All right.
What else are they playing for but Joe Burrow touchdown pass?
Well, here's the thing is I didn't want to go very heavy on the Cowboys because at first I had 3 Cowboys picks, and I was like, I don't know who's going to win this game, if it's going to be the Cowboys, if it's going to be the Bengals, because
The
Joe
Simpsons.
Burrow has just been – today
That's
is
big.
Simpsons Fun Day
Right.
on Monday Night Football.
You'll watch that broadcast.
You can
right?
watch it on, I believe, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, all of those streaming services. I'm going to check it out. Last year I was excited. I did the Toy Story one. Toy
Yep.
Story one got off to a bit of a rough start.
yeah, little lag.
Yeah, but the Simpsons one winner, by the way, Mina Kimes, having a moment. Mina
Yeah.
Kimes, she's going to be on the Simpsons
Yes.
broadcast. She was Simpsonized, I believe. I think that they'd made a Simpsons character
was.
of her. She also has been reportedly the target of the Netflix game that they're going to have on Christmas. They want her to do that game, so that would be
wow.
exciting for her.
Have a moment.
More games
as
for
well.
Mina, yes.
Yeah, more games
All
for
right.
Mina.
She's
I mean,
excellent,
share
yes.
the wealth, Mina, though. You know what I mean? Pass some of these games around.
As we're wrapping up, can I give you the last if the season ended
What do
today?
you mean share the wealth?
Billy has been doing Florida.
No, I understand that.
I paid my dues.
But he's
time after
proposing
time.
that Mina call the bosses at ESPN and say, hey, give Billy a shot.
Billy
No,
a
I didn't
shot.
say that. I didn't
Okay.
say that.
All
I
right.
He
didn't
said
say
it's
that.
just spread it.
But we're all
long as
friends
it's-
here.
I would like you to have that shot.
Listen,
I
as
would.
long as it's not Noah Eagle, we're fine. Which it probably will be, if we're going to be honest. I bet you Noah Eagle's going to be on one of those Netflix games. I guarantee.
No doubt.
I guarantee.
No doubt.
Look,
Can you make it a big board bet? Yeah, there
we
you go. Put it
go.
on the
Right
board.
now. Bring this down right now.
Noah Eagle
Big
over
board
half a
bet.
game on Netflix.
Yeah, exactly right. There you go. Noah Eagle,
It's a lock of the year.
Netflix. It's going to happen. It's just always a Noah Eagle around.
So is Joe New
I can't seem to find it
here.
on DraftKings.
Noah Eagle doing a Netflix game. It's on there. This is a bonus bet brought to you by Bookie. You know it's going to happen.
It's him or Collinsworth. I mean,
Which one?
Jack.
I'm going to go with Noah over Jack.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
If the season ended today, Vikings at Bucks.
Oh, what a game! Darnold and Mayfield.
Jordan Addison is good.
Both,
Very good.
Both in the
Great
playoffs.
game. Good.
Yes.
Not for the team
They
that
have
drafted
2
them.
really good targets there.
Well, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
Yes.
Yep. They're good.
You forget they have TJ Hawkinson, too.
Yeah.
I take the Bucks. Stugotz here. I want to thank the folks over at Smirnoff for being a loyal sponsor to both God Bless Football and the Dan Lebitard Show with Stugotz. Smirnoff knows there is no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, Smirnoff is the world's #1 vodka and is an official vodka partner of the NFL. And this year, there are more opportunities to watch football and make delicious Smirnoff cocktails than ever before over the holiday season. From Thanksgiving to Black Friday and Christmas, Smirnoff and the NFL are with you every step of the way. So, this holiday season, when you are enjoying the game and your cocktails, please make sure to drink responsibly. Take a minute, make a plan, never drive impaired. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly. Smirnoff number 21 vodka, distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please do not share with anyone under legal drinking age.